morning, my friends. Thank you for being here with me on what I suppose is our final devotional, at least for this book. This isn't the end, don't worry. So here I'll be reading our end devotion. It is called Your Refuge and Your Strength. There is so much bad news in the world. Just watching the evening news can be like seeing a horror movie. There are reports of murders, terrorists, floods, earthquakes, tornadoes, and more. If you focus on all those dangers and forget I am taking care of you, fear will creep into your mind. Remember, I am your refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. You don't have to be afraid of anything because I am in control. Every day I pour out my grace in countless places and situations. I shower blessings on your planet, and even many miracles, but the evening news doesn't always report these things. Don't focus on all the bad news. Focus on me. See my presence all around you and remember that I am your refuge. Okay then, there we go. So, I chose this one in particular to finish this off because, I thought it touched on a really important sentiment that really, brought it back to where it all began with the miracles, with the good and the bad of life. But this really touches on what a lot of people call doom scrolling, if you know what that is. Basically, it's a modern term that describes when you have young people on their phones that just, endlessly scroll through, like, maybe digital news or information that is just supposed to bring them down. A lot of people would seek out bad information instead of the good. Some people would even go as far as to consider sadness maybe a deeper emotion than something like happiness, because, that's kind of what it's painted out to be, just a short-lived pleasure in this world, just something that passes as quickly as it comes. And with that, of course, true happiness has a certain level of depth with it because you know what's coming and you're certain of it and you feel okay, you feel content. Even just the momentary relief, it can be an amazing feeling. And that's why it's not just all empty. I see why people think that, but it's just not all empty. But you see, there are just so many people who kind of go by the idea that pessimism will keep them safe, They'll already be disappointed from bad information, so that if something good happens, then they're struck with the bad stuff that, of course they'll just feel like crap afterwards. And you see, that's kind of the scheme that the world has learned to depend on. How they can just cash off of more bad news, kind of ignoring just the good stuff that won't pile onto people as easy and won't stress them out, because we're pretty much in the age of neuroticism right now in history, which is pretty unfortunate. But the truth is, so many things have remained the same. We even know that from even the Bible. Heck, there's just so much that still remains, including the ever-present notions of good and evil and how they're represented, which I'm at least glad this book put it in perspective for younger people, because people of that age aren't really proficient at looking at symbols, things like that yet. That's probably more of an adolescent thing. Things seem easier when they're packed into little metaphors, and that's what makes it so efficient to use. But it's best not to be too down about it, because, our world is a really nicely bundled up, almost metaphor for all the good and the bad people go through. But for now, we just have to do the best we can and know that neither us nor God is to blame for the chaos in the world, and that's just the price we paid, and we just have to persevere. And by process of humbling ourselves, we can see this transitory phase of life as kind of a learning experience, being able to find our way in a world that was almost perfect. And really, when you think about it, it is quite inspiring. While we're here, and while nothing seriously bad is happening to us, that we should probably just have fun while it lasts. Responsibly, of course, because there's too many people that have just gone unhinged and we should do what we can just to at least stick to what we know. But I suppose that pretty much finishes that up for today. And just as a note for you guys for now, I'm really honored to be able to read this book with you, because I remember when I was a lot younger, I used to read this with my grandmother, and, it's just special to me, and it brings back good memories. So it was nice to spread this with you, and it was a new opportunity of growth for me and a new thing to experience. So I hope you guys have a good day and a good weekend, and I guess we'll just have to see where next week takes us. But for now, that's a goodbye from me. I'll see you then, everybody.